So this is probably going to be all over the place, just to warn you. I've been thinking a certain way lately that, I don't know, maybe it's completely singular, that I'm the only person that thinks that way, or maybe it's something that's in avoidant personality disorder, and nobody really talks about, but it's actually more universal thinking. And I guess I should go back a bit. I've always considered myself to be jaded, like back to at least when I was 20, maybe even earlier. And it's sort of gotten worse as I've gotten older. Now that's something I hear that's really common, is the there's sort of this double whammy of things sort of seem more tolerable as an avoidant person. You like get used to it, and it's just life. So it sort of gets easier as you get older, and at the same time, in a lot of ways, people are just like give up on other people the older they get. Well, because, you know, you've tested this, you've tested that, you've tested the other, they all fail, therefore, what's the point in trying anymore? But I've been really aware lately, and I think a lot of it, again, is because I've been hanging out with, I hate that term, but because it's inaccurate, but around people who seem friendly and are not friends, and they're never going to be friends, and they're incapable of being friends because they're professionals. But it's messing with me. So maybe that has something to do with it, but I've been really paying attention, close attention, to people that are like with each other and are friends or whatever, and trying to figure out what, why, how, what. I mean, it is a worthiness thing, because I'm like, well, they're just co-workers. They just went to the same, you know, coffee shop. They just this, they just that. They just ended up taking the same class. They just like, and I'm like, I can't get through my head that things sort of can't be dismissed as not real in a way, not genuine, not, I don't know exactly how to describe it, other than, you know, I mean, that's like not a good enough way to meet somebody. I mean, it's too random. You know, how can you be friends with somebody that's either too much your equal or not your equal, is what I'm saying. And that's kind of harsh. It's sort of like I'm putting myself in their position. I'm like, okay, well, they got to be friends by just happening to work at the same place or something like that. Like, how does that work? Because I can't even talk to people if I'm working with them. So, like, what? How does that work? I don't understand. Somebody asked me, why is it that the only people you talk to and all of my friends are avoidant? Well, because that's the only people I interact with. Could I open up to somebody who wasn't? I don't know. I think I've gotten to the point where I could not. Now, here's the deal, though. Now, I've been in this super low place before. And I think there's two ways out of it. which is one, just let it drop. Let it go, let the bottom come out. I gotta say, when I've done that, like so given in and gotten so desperate, that's when every single one of my romantic and sexual relationships happened. Is because I just got so completely desperate. Just awful way of putting it, but it's true. Like, I was like so lonely and so, like I just didn't care anymore. I didn't care about anything. So I didn't care about my avoidance and didn't care about my self-judgment and my worthiness. It's like, whatever. And then, poof, because I was thinking, doesn't matter. That's when I sort of leveled out and it was okay. I don't know, it just happens. Because I'm still like, okay, well, I just, you're a random person. Why would you talk to a random person? Why would you talk to a coworker? Why would you talk to anyone? Why? Can't. Because the thing is, no one is worthy. But then everyone is worthy by virtue of being alive. But then, of course, that's not true. There's lots of places where that's not true. I mean, it's sometimes completely cultural. I mean, I don't really want to tick people off, and I'm talking about the history, of course, but there are untouchable castes in India. I mean, that was a major cultural thing, that no one was allowed to interact with these people, which, by the way, way before I was void, way before I got diagnosed, I was actually really interested in the caste system. I'm talking like really young, like 8 or 9. I was at that point, way before I had a clue, being very aware of it. And I keep seeing, well, what made me avoidant? What did I do to make myself avoidant? Where did it come from? How is it affecting the rest of my life? I just think that's interesting. I don't think it's like it caused it, or, I don't think I was, definitely didn't think I was aware of it at the time. I was just like, wow, look, I just, of course, American, so, there is sort of especially in school, there's a clique sort of caste thing going on. And I was like, wow, this is like formalized. You don't have to think, why am I not one of the popular people? What did I do? Oh, you're born as a not popular person. Oh my God, well, there we go. It's human nature, and it's organized. That, sucks, but it makes sense, as opposed to being in school and everything else. Because I'm in a really bad place where I think, I am not worthy. I've described it as this black mark in my soul, which is a really, almost romantic way of looking at it, and it's very dramatic, and yeah, I don't think I would ever be worthy. I wouldn't trust somebody that liked me, because clearly there's something wrong with them that they can't pick up on what's wrong with me. That is a huge, giant, massive barrier. That's like impossible to get over. This is really not a nice video. Oh well. I'm known for not having nice videos. I got another cat this weekend. So that's 4. Let's count. It's a 13-year-old black girl. Mine are all boys and they're all tigers. immediately said, no, got another one. That's not fitting that pattern. And the reason I got her was this. So we have 3 cats, and 2 of them who were not getting along have now bonded. I mean, they are buddies. They're with each other constantly, anywhere, everywhere, laying next to each other, just like best friends. And then the 3rd cat, who's I actually got from a cat hoarder. So he's not really keen on anybody. Likes people a little bit. Likes me anyway. He doesn't like other people that he doesn't know. Just not a very sociable cat. And doesn't really like having other cats around. And I was like, he needs a buddy. So I volunteered at a shelter, and there was this cat who kinda, sorta, had the same, not quite so bad, but had the same sort of personality quirks. You would not believe. People are like, oh my goodness, you're so great to get such an old cat. I'm like, whatever, There's no guarantees with young cats. I mean, whatever. She's healthy. She might be costing me money soon, but she's healthy now, so she's fine. I had a cat live till she was 21. And even she had hypothyroidism. It was like $5 prescription a month. I mean, come on. It's no big deal. But I was kind of dead on in picking them up because, again, this other one that I was hoping would be the buddy with her doesn't want anything to do with other cats, doesn't like them, hisses at them, hates them, and he was the first one to settle in with her. And they're not like great pals, but they'll go to sleep 4 or 5 feet from each other, which is in the cat world, that means this is my buddy. So I can pick it out with cats. I mean, she's slowly getting used to the other 2. They're bonded and they're pals, and they're a little bit more rowdy, more sociable than the other one, so a little different personality, but like I said, got the instinct with cats. I don't see how that translates to people. I feel like there should be, I mean, obviously there should be a personality meshing for people to have anything to do with each other. And I have, if I ever understood it, completely lost any ability whatsoever to see it. Because all I can see with people is, y'all don't have anything in common. Except that you like each other. How do you like somebody that you've got nothing in common with? I don't get it. So, in other words, I'm still where I was. I'll be there for it. On average, I think it's about 6 months to a year when somebody hits the pits like this before they come out of it as an avoidant person. Sometimes it's a lot longer. Depends what they're doing. Depends if you're working on it at all. Depends if there's any way you can get out of it. If there's anything you can do, like, get another cat. So a not helpful video, I'm sure. Again, if you are confused by this and you think there should be a worthiness, and that just becoming friends because you're coworkers blows my mind. If that is universal, go ahead and let me know.